All right. Um, Thank you everyone for joining in. We'll just give it a few more minutes so that we can have more people joining and then we can start this off. Yeah, I see folks joining in now, about 200 attendees. So what we'll do is we'll probably start off and welcome everyone for joining this webinar. So a very warm welcome to all the folks who have joined in this session. My name is Aman, and I'll be your host today. So, we'll be tackling a very fundamental question in the world of data. Are you looking to give your sales team a complete customer financial picture inside Salesforce, or do you need to probably analyze sales activity in real time in data warehouse? So when we're talking about these use cases, they're very connected in terms of what kind of pipelines do you want to build, right? So would it be ETL or ELT? And should you be focusing on deep application integration, or should it be high speed data replication? For a long time, these two approaches were in conflict, but we are here to show you why the most successful modern data strategies, you don't choose, you figure a way to combine them, and that's how you kind of use the power of them, right? So to help uh, us explore this, we have two in-house experts. We have first, I'm going to welcome Ankur, who's on the application integration side of things. Hey, Ankur.
Hi, Aman. Thanks for the introduction, and I'm happy to be here today. I'm excited to talk about creating a single source of truth for powerful integration.
Thanks, Ankur. And joining him in is Rishabh, our expert in data replication. He'll be covering how to achieve speed and agility using modern ELT patterns, right? Welcome, Rishabh.
Thanks, Aman. Thank you, everyone, for joining in. Looking forward to showing how fast, reliable replication can lock a lot of information from data through analytics and reporting.
Great to have you both. And I think over the next 30 or 35 odd minutes, Ankur and Rishabh will probably break down these concepts for you. Why you should be even looking at hybrid pipelines, which are the future of data integration. And we'll probably run a live demo in our platform showing you how they work together with the live Q&A. So if we get some questions, great. We also have some most frequently asked questions that we usually get around these techniques. So I think without further ado, let's dive in. So now, firstly, let's try to understand the core challenge or pain that we have, right? So there are always questions around saying, hey, should you be integrating or replicating your data, right? What kind of approaches you should be choosing? Is it about getting a near real-time view of your source data for exploration? And I think in terms of integration, uh, nobody better than Ankur to kind of start this case for integration. Ankur, do you want to probably throw some light here on why you should be choosing application integration? Ankur, I think you're on mute.
So think about a sales team that can't see a customer's payment history. They need data from accounting systems like QuickBooks or Xero, integrated directly into the Salesforce or any other CRM that they're using. For to have a view of the entire customer payment details. This is just not about moving data from one place to another place. It is more about the integration process using an extract, transform, and load approach. You extract the invoice and payment, apply business rules to calculate the total outstanding balances or last payment date, and transform the data as per the format that is acceptable to the destination systems like Salesforce or Business Central or D365 or NetSuite, and then load it into the system.
Great, Ankur. I think that makes perfect sense. And as you said, right, integration is a trusted source of truth, right? When you have data across different apps, systems, you want to create a single source of truth because you have different teams referring to different kind of data at different point in time, and which could create silos, which could create problems in operations, and also could be cash flow and revenue kind of problems. But Rishabh, when you talk about the need for raw data and analytics, could you probably cover that area for us, and what does it mean?
Right. So as Ankur already said, right, you are connecting two different applications, moving data from your accounting to your CRM or say any other tool to tool, right? But there is a need where you need to know what is the trend of the market or how the teams are performing. What are the reports that need to be run to analyze your yearly sales or say future trends, right? Even from last few years, especially from lockdown, we have seen that the data market has grown immensely, right? Everything is constantly and continuously depending on data. So that's where replication come in. Like imagine sales and operation teams that need to analyze the pipeline trends, lead conversion rates, and then the goal isn't is to create just a perfect model out of your data, but it is to replicate your raw data from your CRM applications to your warehouses or databases, from where you can extract more information, you can churn more oil of your data resource and get a better understandings. For that, you can move your data to any data warehouses. There are powerful tools like Snowflake, Databricks, Azure, and whatnot. That also with minimum latency. So you have a real-time kind of data in your data warehouse where you can use analytics and tools to get more data out of it.
Okay, so I
And
think this is, yeah, and I think this is great because Ankur has covered the application integration kind of things, right? So the ETL, as well as you have covered that why do you even need analytics in the first place, right? So you have some data dump and you probably need to make some business decisions on it. But so we have basically two distinct but equally vital goals. Um, as you said, so it's about deep integration when you're talking about ETL versus ELT. It's probably you want to do it for analytics. And I think here comes a point where we say that probably a platform that gives you the best of both worlds is what you should be looking at. And this is probably the right point in time to talk about how you can blend both of these patterns and what are the use cases to cover. So let's look at how these patterns are used in the real world, and if to kind of simplify it, probably you can think about use cases in some sense. Ankur, can you describe probably a classic integration focused pattern for the audience here?
Certainly, Aman. So one common integration pattern is connecting financial systems with a CRM. For example, you may pull invoice and payment details from your accounting tool and then use an ETL process to combine and clean this data to create a single customer financial view in Salesforce or any other CRM system that you are using. Uh, so that your sales team and CSM team can have all the information that they need in one place.
Got it. And Rishabh, do you have other opinions on it when it comes to ELT?
yeah, right, Aman. So adding to it, like both ELT and ETL complements each other, right? And like I said, right, you're moving your data from financial systems to CRM, like full invoice payment. And to complement that, you have the CRM to warehouse pattern, right? Where all your data, which has been pulled from your applications, accountings, and has been stored one place in a CRM. Now you can move it to your warehouses where you can analyze and see which segments, which persona, or which industry is giving you more revenue. What are the things on which you need to double down on, and what are the things which you need to take care and which where you are winning or losing. So all this can be retrieved from the raw data which you pull in, you move it to your CRMs, right? Like the accounts, opportunities, leads, and even custom objects if you have created any. And this raw zone in your cloud warehouse as an efficient as possible, and this create rich explorable databases, data set, as I said, right? You can explore the trends, the winning and losing factors, where you need to double down and all. And this can be achieved even without hampering the performance of your CRM or Salesforce or any other CRM which you are working. Like, you don't need to overburden those things, and you can move your data to different warehouses. And from there, you can analyze it and get more information without impacting the CRM performance.
Got it. So I think what you guys are getting at is probably a modern hybrid architecture, right? Where both of these patterns coexist, where both of these um, um, uh, techniques kind of coexist, and you want to build robust integration pipelines where you can handle syncing of critical data, which is critical to your business operations. Could be your sales team, finance teams, operations team, using it. But at the same time, also you want to handle your replication pipelines, right? So as you said, if you want to have the data in place, but you also want to analyze it so that you can make some critical business decisions on it, depending on what kind of that data is, right? So depending on how that is housed in your uh, CRM or other system, and then it moves to the database. But I think um, this is a this is the right moment in time where we say that, hey, with DBSync, you get this unified platform, right? So it's no longer siloed anymore. You get both of these uh, techniques available as part of our unified platform, where you can manage, monitor, and orchestrate both of these flows without creating data silos. And just to give you a very interesting approach, and love for you guys to even pitch in here, that when you're deciding about when to use ETL versus ELT, right? So that's a question that's always asked when you're figuring out and building these data pipelines. Um, that what you would want to prefer one of these techniques depending on what is your primary goal. Do you want to have single source of truth, or do you want to empower analytics, right? As we have been saying all along. And when you want to harmonize different data sources, you're talking about sales, ops, finance, inventory, right? So they're doing transactions at different places, and you want to have unified view when you're saying, when you want to have one clear picture saying, hey, you had one customer come in, you did a sale to them, some payment needed to be done, but it's housed in different systems. But then you unify that view, probably then ETL comes in. Versus when you're saying that you have high volume sources based on which you want to have, you want to kind of have house that data, probably archive it for later usage, or maybe also figure out if there's a way to analyze that data. Uh, and in terms of compliance, right? So uh, when it comes to ETL, I think it's more data needs to be masked, right? So when it's landing in the target system, then you want to probably there's a rule-based approach where you want to probably change it based on how it exists in the target system. And similarly, I think for raw data as well, right? So you governance can be applied later, but I think it needs to be loaded first, and it's a critical step. And even for like the kind of users, right? ETL probably favors the business users, as you said, right? Because you have different business teams using it versus probably data engineers or scientists probably prefer the ELT approach. So just moving on, and this is probably a good point in time where you get to see the power of the platform, how both of these techniques exist together. I'd want to give the baton to Ankur first, where he can show us what what a classic data integration pipeline or ETL looks like, and probably with a good use case, and he'll show you how that exists within our system, followed by Rishabh focusing on ELT. Cool. Ankur, so you can share your screen and let me know if you feel any challenges. All right. Let me stop my share. you should be able to share it now.
I hope my screen is visible by now.
Yes. It's visible now, Uncle. Yes.
Okay. So let me just quickly go here. So do you see the dashboard page?
Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So so once you log into DBSync, you come and land in this page, which is the dashboard, where you have all the details and reports that you can see for the necessary analytics that you need for your daily data usage. Along with the dashboard, we have sort of packaged the common use cases that we come across between two different systems, so that it's just a simple click that our users can have. Just click on the add project and they can start using it. I'm going to walk you through about how you can use that. Before that, let me just take you guys to the connectors page or the apps page, where we have all the application that is supported by DBSync. We have over 40 plus applications, which you can see here. And these all applications, you can just simply click on add app and configure it using your user credentials and connect and start using. Okay, and now let me take you guys to the projects. Once you have imported a template from the template library, you can just that gets imported as a project in your project section. Now I have already imported this QuickBooks Online to Salesforce accounts receivable, which is one of the common use cases that we get to see among our users. Now, once you click on the project, it kind of takes you to the task page where you have the option to choose between either integration bot or the replication bot that you want to use. Here we have given the option for our users easier usage to a setup wizard kind of thing, where the user can come here and they can connect the apps that they are using very seamlessly. Here I have QuickBooks Online, which I have already connected, and the other one is Salesforce. Now, once you have connected your applications, you can go to the next page where you get to see a sort of common question and answers that once the user answers them, they're all set and ready to use the integration system. Now, this is a pre-built template where we have, you have the option to choose the answer so that you don't have to go deep dive into the into all the different technicalities of the integration. So we try to make it easier for our users to use it. But once you have answered all these questions, you can just simply go to next and run the sync. But in case if you want to go a little beyond that, then you have the option to configure everything. So this is a common, place which is called the flow page, where you design everything that you need to design for your integration process to work. So for this particular QuickBooks to Salesforce template, we have designed different flows. In the first one, you have the option to sync the customers and from QuickBooks Online to Salesforce accounts. And then you have the option for the items and then the transaction that you want, and along with the receivables. On the left-hand side, we have all these actions which are commonly used for these to perform your integration task. In the query section, you have the option to select the source and the like source connector and the object that you want to query from. And then you can use the filters that criteria that you want to apply to that particular object. And then which is basically the extract process. And then once the extraction is done, you can come to the transform and write section where you can select which operation you want or update. And then you can select the target or the destination system. Let's wait for a few minutes. Okay. Once you have configured the basic steps, you have the mapping section where you sort of map the field to field mapping happens here. And in case if you want to write any transformation logic so that it is easier for your destination system to understand or accept the data that is coming from the source and accept it in a format that it understands. Along with that, in case if you want to apply any conditions on certain conditions only, if you want those records to be created, then you can apply that using you can use DBSync's pre-built functions, and you can just it's pretty simple. You can just drag and drop these functions like I have here, and all the description is also mentioned for each function over here. Now, once you have configured everything, you can just simply click on run to run the sync. And once you have initiated the sync, you will get the console section where you will be able to see everything. Now, if you want a more detailed log, we have the log section where you will get to see that if there is any success or error messages that has occurred during the sync. If you click on the details, you have a more detailed overview. So when I ran the sync, there was an error, so that is highlighted over here. Also, we have this notification. Say, for example, upon any successful start or completion or any errors that occurs, you want a notification, email notification to be sent to you or your team members. That also can be configured here on this section. And also, if you don't want to go and manually run every time, we have the option for scheduling the sync as well. In the scheduler section, you can schedule it based on a certain days of a week or a certain time interval like hours or minutes or any custom corn expression that you want to provide. Along with that, we have webhooks. So say, for example, you want to sync records only if a certain event is triggered. And then in that case, you can just go here and select the connector, select the object here, and select which operation you want the sync to trigger. Say, for example, you want to sync a record every time there is a account, or say, for example, let's take the customers example, which is more common. So every time a customer is either created or updated. So you just come here, you select these two options and click on subscribe. Now in your QuickBooks, every time there is a customer created or there is any update happens, the sync will trigger automatically. Now, having said that, that was a quick overview of the integration process altogether. Over to you, Rishabh.
Thank you, Aman and Anku. Let me know if you guys can see my screen.
Yeah.
Cool. Thank you, both of you, for giving me this opportunity. Now, as we have already seen what Ankur has said, right, we can connect a number of connectors through that connection page. And then we also have pre-built templates. So I won't take much time on explaining those. We'll go to the project section. Sorry for that. So yeah, we go to the project section. As we can see, right, as we already know how we can just click on create, give the name to the project. So this project is like if you are moving your data from your CRM to CRM production to warehouse or what, you can just give it a name and click next. Once that is done, a new project is created. Just click on the project, and this will take you to the automation task. Now here, as already showed by Ankur, that we have two different bots. One is integration and replication bot. I'll just walk you through the replication bot, and in the end, I will show how you can configure both at once and do it a hybrid model, right? So here also, I like to highlight that here you can see a dashboard, right? Anything which you have scheduled, the number of tasks, errors, successful runs. Even you can monitor the number of records which has been moved from last 1 day till last 1 month. And that is very helpful for any organization to keep a track on what data or how many data is moving, or is there any error happened, or what are the total successful runs or activities which are already scheduled. So to configure this, once you select the replication bot, you have to click on configure. Now, once you click on configure, you come to this page. It might seem a bit different from what Ankur has shown, but this is just one flow page where you can configure your source. Now, for configuring source, as we have said, right, we have already added this characters. You can select anyone which is applicable for your application. Now, once that is selected, you just click on testing as the application, save the connections, and move to the next step. Now here also you have both the option to either select it from the pre-configured, or if you want, you can click on add new. Once you click add new, you can see there are a number of connectors which are there, which can be used to replicate or to move your data into. So for this instance, we select the Snowflake. Now, these are the few simple steps which you have to do, like put the host username, password, and all. And so once that is done, just click on validation, this connection. It will validate your connection, make a connection through your database. And once that is done, you can get a message of connection success. Click on save to save the credentials so that you don't have to come and fill it again and again. Now, once you click next, now here we land to the objects page. Here on the left-hand panel, as you can see, these are all the objects from your CRM application. For the instance, for this demo purpose, these are from the Salesforce. So as you can see, we have all the objects which are there. If you want to move, as said, right, we want to see only when the customer account change. So we can do that anytime there's a customer account change. We can select that, okay, we move that customer to our warehouse to do more analysis or account and all. So these are the four tables which I have selected. Now here, as talked by as said by Aman, right, we have an option to add data masking, which are good for compliances, right? You don't want to move all your data, so all your data to every team. So say if there are some private informations like the phone numbers. So what we can do, we can go to the phone or mobile number or phone, anywhere we can select. We have a pre-built templates for each of the masking process. Like if you want to mask credit card, if you want to mask phone and all, you can just select any one of this, switch it on, click on save, and this masking will be applied to your data set. So once that is done, you can select which replication action we want to complete. One is clean copy. This will do nothing but move all your data from the selected object to your source. This is like creating a mirror of your source information to your target database. Source to DB incremental. This is used if there are any changes from the last replication ran. And every time that you run source to DB incremental, it will read only those data which has been changed from the last time and move it to your databases as a target. And we also do of a reverse ETL kind of thing, where you move your data from your database to your source. Say if there's something mishap happened to your database, something corrupted, you can move your data from your database base to your source application. Once you select the run commands, you just have to click on play button here, and you will get this message where start your replication job is started. Once you click OK, you will land to the logs page. And here you can see, right, how many objects are there which are moving, what are the API uses and all. So I'll show you quickly. This is the old run. While the new run loads, I'll move you quickly to the Snowflake account. Now, as you can see, right, all your data from your Salesforce is moved, as these are the 4 tables which we have moved data from. These are contacts. You can see all the data over here, right? And similarly for account and others. Now, let it run. As it's already been saved, right, from Ankur, that we can schedule a process when there's a start of process, completion or error, and similarly for schedule. Now, one thing more, Aman, I'd like to show to all our guests, as we have been talking about creating an hybrid option, right?
Mhm.
So it's not just that you have to work on this on the silos, like working on integration alone or say replication alone. So here in the flow, you can create any flow. And as you can see that we also have a replication bot over here. So you can just go to replication bot or configure from there, or you have an option to come and configure from this flow builder itself. So you can select the applications as we have already said, right? And you can you can see all the 3 different tabs, source, database, and object over here as well. From here also, you can just select the which run command you want to do or which objects you want to move, right? And once that is done, you just have to click save. And like if you have multiple, you have configured a replication, say as per the use case, I'll go through it. Let me do that. So you have configured a flow. Right, you have configured a flow for say writing your data from your from your CRM, from your accounting to CRM, and after that you want to move the similar data from your replication bot. So you can add a replication over there. So now what it will do, Aman, I'm just not going deep into this, as Ankur has beautifully made you all understand how the things work over here. But what it will do, it will go through this flow. It will write everything from your CRM, accounting to CRM. And once that is done, it will move your data from your application to your warehouse. So as you can see, right, both the ELT and ETL process is or can be configured in the same place. So I'll just quickly go back. So this is a very beautiful and a powerful tool which can help users to not only just do it if they want to do it in a 2 different application, like 2 different parts. One is where just moving data from your CRM to your accounting. You can do that as well. If you want to move from your CRM to your warehouse, you can do that as well. But if you want it to be in a single flow or in a single pattern where the steps carry on one by one, and this is also you can use. You just save it, run it, and or schedule it. Every time you will move your data from your accounting to say CRM, you don't have to worry about again going to your replication bot and scheduling it. You can just schedule it here, and every time it will complete the complete flow. So I think yeah, that's pretty much from my end as well, Aman.
Thanks, Rishabh. And I think the last bit that you said, right? So it got me thinking that probably if you assume you have a use case where you want to move data from your ERP or accounting system to maybe your CRM, and then you might have the need to kind of replicate it as well, right? So probably both of these approaches exist in a platform. We could do that. So you could have that kind of a use case if you're thinking about the hybrid approach. I think that sums it sums it up pretty well. So just moving on, as we said, right? So the future is hybrid. You don't want to probably force a certain kind of technique. You want to intelligently combine both depending on what that use case is in your case. And you want to maintain governance and compliance across all your data flows, right? So you want to, we understand that your workflows are complex, but then you probably use a unified approach and not do it in silos because um, uh, both of these approaches, like existing together, helps you kind of get the best out of your data. So just quickly moving on to the question answer session, and uh, would love for you all if you have any questions you want to share. Meanwhile, we have pooled a few questions. We can cover them up very quickly. Maybe Rishabh, if you want to take this, or Ankur, how do you want to? So, like Rishabh, since you closed on replication, I think one question typically comes up is, hey, what's that typical latency that looks like for replication processes? And in our case,
So yeah, so we try to keep latency like as we already say, right? We are near to real-time replication as of now, and moving forward, we are going to add CDC as well, so that it can be a complete real-time. So for now, also it's the latency we try to keep it under 5 minutes. So any data, you won't lose much of data. Like anything which has been moved, it might be like delay of maximum of 5 minutes. That too, as like maximum, we try to keep below that as well. So that's what we try to keep things under 5 minutes, so that you don't have to wait for your data like for longer period of time, and you have almost real time experience.
correct. And Ankur, maybe do you want to take this? That how do you handle quality in integration pipelines, like typically for application integration, if you want to maybe just give a quick view.
Yeah, so DBSync generally provides a built-in data validation rule and transformation capabilities and error handling. So setup which sets up quality gates and that validates the data uh, before it reaches the target system.
All right, cool. And if there are any changes in the source system, maybe Rishabh, you want to take this. How do you typically handle those? Any
Right. So mostly what we do is we automatically detected any changes if there are any changes, right? We all automatically update the schema. And also we have this the fourth command which I showed you, that update schema. If you had done any changes in your source application, the Salesforce, you can just simply click on update schema. You don't have to worry of going uh, through the metadata route, reading all the schema and making the changes. You just have to click one button, and all the schema changes will automatically be copied to your source databases. So you don't have to worry about doing it manually. It's a simply automated process, or simple, you can just go and do one click and everything is in place.
right? Yeah, I'm kind of while you were talking about it, I'm trying to get some questions from the audience, but I think we've not got any. I can still wait for a
Yeah,
few.
we will definitely like to know more about what they want to know.
Yes.
Also, Aman, I think coming week or two,
Mhm.
we have a more deep dive on this from our tech teams. On this webinar, they are going to present in the same segment, a more deep dive, a more technical prospect. So if our audience want to join, that will be a great for them
Yes.
as well.
Yes. Yes. No, I think Rishabh well reminded, and this is just the first series in the webinar, and then you'll probably see our tech team kind of deep diving into saying, "Hey, how do we build this?" Probably their thoughts on how of when we built the platform, what was the thought process behind building these two pipelines and then unifying them. So I think please look forward to that session as well. Um, I think we don't have a question yet. So what we'll do is we'll probably close this off saying, hey, now if you want to probably learn more about the platform, how we do this, probably in your specific use case, if you have ETL or ELT in mind for application integration or replication side of things, you can reach out to us at sales@mydbsync.com. It's a personal connect where somebody from the team who are in-house experts on both of these product lines can come in and can help you out. Also, you can check out our solutions at www.mydbsync.com. You'll see the whole gamut of solutions that we support on across these areas, and would love for you to know that what use case are you seeing. Probably have that initial discussion with the team, and then we can go from there.
Right.
So yeah,
And adding to that, Aman, I think our team has curated a
yes,
document for
yes,
them to use to evaluate where they are on this journey. Either they are using hybrid or in ELT or ETL process. So I think
mhm,
we will be handing that out as well to the client if you can elaborate.
yes, yes, absolutely. So what you'll see is post this webinar, you'll see a guidance book of sorts, or a guidance of sorts where which will tell you what technique you should be using. You answer a few questions, and then you get to a point where you decide, hey, should I be using ETL versus ELT, depending on the kind of scenarios that I'm seeing, and what do I want to apply in terms of the technology side of things, and I think go from there. That's a good first step to take while you start implementing these patterns across your business systems. So yeah, I think this gets us to the end of the session. Thank you, folks, for joining in, for giving us the time to be part of the session. Thanks, Ankur and Rishabh, who have been comprehensively helping us across both of these solutions. Thanks, folks.
Thanks, Aman.
And
Thank
look
you,
forward
everyone.
to,
Was nice fun.
yeah.
Thanks,
Yes, yeah.
everyone.
Thanks, guys.